Hello, Soraya Bastian here, and you are watching Beyond Breath TV, the place to be to overcome your husband's infidelity and create a beautiful marriage. One of the questions I see most and hear most is, what if I do all this work to heal? What if I stay? What if I believe him only to find out he's still cheating on me? Today, I want to talk to you about just that. What do you do if you do all this work? What do you do if you stay? What do you do if you believe him and you are all in and he cheats again? I get dozens of applications daily from women who sit in this what if fear space. And the ironic thing is, they are already doing the work. They are and have been, sometimes for years, doing therapy. They are and have been, sometimes for years, participating in couples counseling. They are already reading every book possible that they can get their hands on the subject of infidelity, affairs, betrayal trauma, sexual addiction, codependency, and the entire self-help section. They are already consuming and digesting podcast after podcast, trying to find the missing piece to what is missing in order to heal their marriage. They are already staying. They haven't left. They have already tried an in-home separation. They have already tried an out-of-home separation. They have already tried going back to the way things were. And they have already believed him or have worked on trying to believe him. They are already putting energy into searching and seeking for proof and hope that trust can be rebuilt. And on all of these applications, every single one of them has the same question written: what if my husband cheats again? And you want to know the extreme crazy thing about this? Is that while they have been putting in the work, even though they're afraid of him cheating again, in most situations that come my way, their husbands have been caught being unfaithful again. Let's break this down into bullet points. You're afraid to really do the work to heal your marriage after your husband's infidelity because you are afraid he's going to cheat again. However, you have done and are doing everything you can as far as therapy, couples counseling, book reading, and informing yourself of the situation from every possible source. You're still married, you haven't filed divorce, and during this time have probably found that he is still being unfaithful to you. If you are like I was, or like most of my clients when they first start working with me, when you find out about a recent betrayal, even after all the work you've done, you probably think some of the following thoughts. I must be seeing the wrong therapist. Maybe I haven't tried hard enough. Perhaps we should see a different counselor. If only I'd read that book that was suggested to me. Just need to go to a couples intensive to see if we can really make this work. If he just knew I loved him, he wouldn't be doing this. I need to love him better. And I've wasted so much time. So your biggest fear has come true, sometimes again, and you still can't leave. You're still unsure. There is still zero clarity. Can you feel how confusing this is? You probably feel like you are going crazy. At least that's how I felt when I was in your situation. This reminds me of my client Cindy, who came to me after a 15-year marriage. She and her husband had been high school sweethearts, dedicated to each other, totally in love, and what others would consider the perfect couple. Unfortunately, what she thought was her forever was shattered when she found out that her husband had been unfaithful, not once, but twice during their marriage. She always told herself that if her husband cheated, she'd be gone. No way would she disrespect herself in that way and stay. However, when it actually happened, that was not the case. Cindy was so afraid that her husband would be unfaithful again. She was totally unsure if she was ever going to be able to trust him again, and she had no idea if she'd ever really be able to forgive him, but she was willing to try. When she found out about her husband, she didn't run away, but instead felt an immense desire to be closer to him, to create a beautiful new beginning in their marriage with a foundation of honesty, vulnerability, loyalty, kindness, openness, and support. In order to attain that, she tried speaking with her husband about the event and sharing her feelings and fears with him. She read books on self-awareness and forgiveness, and she spoke with a therapist that specialized in marriage and family infidelity. Well, a year into the work of trying to reconcile and rebuild her marriage after the first discovery, she found out even more. Her worst nightmare had come true again. And guess what? She couldn't leave. She went back and reread some of the books she'd already read and even ordered a stack of new ones. She found a new therapist, and she even started participating in a recovery program that her church held weekly. As worried as Cindy was about wasting any more energy or wasting any more time or putting herself in a situation where she could be hurt in that way again, she was stuck. Here's the thing. Your fear of wondering if your husband will cheat again is a valid fear. And also, that is not what's keeping you stuck. Let's talk about what is keeping you stuck. Infidelity in a marriage causes what is defined as emotional trauma. And emotional trauma can cause post-infidelity stress disorder. One of the symptoms that can be experienced through this is called trauma recall, which means you may have painful memories, flashbacks, and nightmares that feel as though you are reliving the experience all over again. This loud fear, what if my husband cheats again, is attached to the symptoms of emotional trauma as you continually, unconsciously recall the memories, visuals, feelings, and sensations of the heartbreak, the disbelief, and the pain. This loud fear, what if my husband cheats again, is a biological response to try to protect you, warn you, and ensure that under any circumstances you will never feel this way again. But because of the way emotional trauma has infiltrated your brain, nervous system, and body, you are unable to understand and know the difference between when you are safe, when he is healing, when he is being honest, and when he's lying, and when he's being unfaithful. Remember how Cindy was so afraid to do the work to heal her marriage, but she was doing everything she could anyway? Remember how she was so afraid her husband was going to be unfaithful again, and he was? And even after all the work she'd done, she still couldn't leave. She still felt stuck. Well, it's because Cindy, through all of her efforts, had not done the one thing needed to be able to help her overcome this fear. The one thing that would give her the clarity that she needed to be able to move on towards her husband or away from him, and the trust and confidence within herself to do that. And that one thing is clearing the emotional trauma. One thing I always tell my children is, you have a choice. Always there are choices to be made. You are truly never stuck. So I'll share that same advice with you. You aren't stuck. There is truly a way out of this madness, and you have a choice. You can absolutely continue to ask your therapist for advice and wait for them to tell you their opinion on what you should do, which leaves you questioning their opinion and, in the end, unable to move forward. You can absolutely continue to read and try to digest the information that the books offer, cramming in as much knowledge and understanding as your trauma-hijacked brain can hold, and continue to remain as you are. Or you can do the work of clearing your emotional trauma, just like Cindy decided to do, which results in your ability to move beyond the loud fear of what if he cheats again, and gives you the traction, know-how, and confidence to be able to move towards what you want. It allows you to get unstuck. And just to fill in the burning question of where Cindy is now, she decided to do the work to clear her emotional trauma, and unfortunately found out that her husband is blocking women when he comes home from work, and then blocking them when he leaves for work. This information in the past would send her spiraling, reeling, starting over with the hamster wheel I've discussed today. But this time, she reported to our group that this is the hardest thing she's ever been through and the hardest thing she'll ever go through. And although it's hard for her to come out of all this, she is beginning to feel joy and peace as she's learning to trust herself and know that it is all okay, that she is going to be okay because she knows exactly what to do now. The ending of some of my examples I share aren't very pretty, but they're truthful, and that is what I wish to share with you. Your husband cheating on you is not your fault, and yet the emotional trauma he has caused is your responsibility to clear. You can feel the calm and peace you desire. You can know that you are enough. You have everything within you to be able to trust yourself, your judgment, and your choices. And it is very possible for you to be able to overcome this loud fear of wondering if your husband will cheat again, so that you can find clarity and get unstuck. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Please tell me in the comments below if you have lost days, months, or years to this fear of wondering if your husband will cheat again, only to find evidence of information and not know what to do with it. And if so, how did that make you feel? I can't wait to read what you write. Finally, be sure to head over to sorayabastian.com and subscribe to become a Beyond Breath Insider. You'll gain instant access to an awesome training where I share the secrets to creating a marriage full of passion, intimacy, and excitement after your husband's infidelity, as well as some exclusive content, some special giveaways, and personal updates from me that I don't share anywhere else. Thank you for joining me today. I love you. Bye-bye.